I'm Sarah Benson, and this is my piece, Down to the Arroyo. My father takes me down to the Arroyo when I am so small that I do not yet reach his waist. My feet fumble across flaking desert skin, and he pulls me along gently by my hand and tells me to be careful of small cacti and the bones of dead jackrabbits. Earlier, my father had crept into my room with the sun and shaken me into consciousness. "Get your sneakers," he had whispered. "We're going on a treasure hunt." It is minutes later now, and we are trudging down an overgrown trail, tactfully descending the deep slopes of New Mexican land. I almost trip over a weed, but my father steadies me and says, "Almost there, baby." The Arroyo is different than I have ever seen it. It is scattered with long silver puddles. Around us, green tufts of vegetation burst from the earth in unpredictable patterns, and the ground looks shiny and slippery in the pink glow of the rising sun. My father tells me to wait, and he steps down into the wet sand. He crouches over and digs into the earth with a discarded stick. Then he stands, approaches me, and places in my hand something slimy and smooth. "A pottery shard," he says, "from the Native Americans who lived right here 1,000 years ago. If we're lucky, we'll find the pieces of an entire pot." I look down at the strange triangular stone and wipe the sand from its surface. He lifts me up in his arms, carries me back towards the house. My father gives me a book about Georgia O'Keeffe for my 5th birthday. He points at a landscape that looks like a rumpled tablecloth and tells me, "This is why we're here." I steal a flashlight and flip through the book under my covers at night. I touch the same glossy picture and whisper, "This is why we're here." When I am 6 years old, the Sunday school teacher asks what my father does for a living. I tell her he is an artist, like Georgia O'Keeffe. I do not know I am lying. I do not know he hasn't sold a piece in months. I do not know my mother sits at the kitchen table after I go to sleep and cries because the mortgage is past due and she can't figure out a way to tell me that this year, Santa Claus just might not make it. For Christmas, my father gives me a sparkling blue stone he found in the Arroyo. I say thank you and pretend I mean it. Later, I stand on the edge of our brick patio and throw the rock as far as it will go. It disappears inside the bristles of a pine tree. I do not say goodbye to the Arroyo before we go. I do not say goodbye because I think that I won't miss it. We are leaving New Mexico. We are going to New York, where my father will get a real job and we will become a real family. We drive alongside a cliff, jagged and sprinkled with diamonds. I press my finger against the glass. This is why we're here. When I am 16 years old, my father takes me back to New Mexico and we go once more to the Arroyo. The trail is long gone now and we stumble over dried up cacti and colorless desert flowers. I am too old now to hold my father's hand. He walks a few steps ahead of me and I do not see his face. The Arroyo is bone dry, littered with dented soda cans, beaten strips of tire, and mud-stained garbage bags. Many monsoon seasons have left its sides tall and smooth, except for the roots of long dead plants still lodged in the dirt, which reach towards us like skeleton hands. My father crouches over and his shirt draws taut across his back. He parts the earth with his fingers, searching for something he will never find again. "No more pottery," he says. He squints his eyes against the sun. It must have washed far away by now. Suddenly comes to me the vague image of my father pressing a pottery shard into my palm. I wonder if he too has washed far away.